If you are capable, resourceful, driven, you probably don't relate to the idea of not trying. You take responsibility. You look for solutions. You usually figure things out. So when habits don't stick, it don't just feel frustrating, but also confusing. You've done the research. You've tried the different systems. You've changed your routine. And yet, certain patterns still repeat. You fall off. You restart. And then you tell yourself you're going to do it differently this time. What most capable people don't realize is that there are a few common habit traps that will quietly undo progress. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because the way habits are commonly designed is fragile under real life pressure. So today, I want to show you the traps that keep capable people stuck. Restarting instead of redesigning. Most people restart habits when instead they need to redesign them. We'll start a new habit. It'll go well for a week or two. Then we fall off. Then we'll be like, okay, I'm gonna start Monday. I'm gonna start whenever. I'm gonna restart it. And then you restart it. You do it the same way you did it last time. Because you think that, oh, you're not being consistent. And so you restart it the same way you did the last time. Then another 2 weeks go by. You fall off again. You restart doing the same thing that you did the last time, the last two previous times. And then the cycle just keep repeating. And it will go into also a shame cycle, which I mentioned in one of the previous videos about the shame cycle, because you'll fall off, you'll feel bad about falling off, then you'll restart, fall off, feel shame about falling off again. And so it repeats itself, and you start to create narratives in your mind about not being consistent, about not having enough motivation, about not having enough this or that. And so what you're doing is you're using willpower, which is what I talked about in the first video of this series, is you're using willpower to push through the habit and to try to get momentum started. But we want our habits to feel like second nature and not effort. So what we want to do instead is redesign the habit, aka why this playlist is called the Habit Architecture, why I have the Habit Architecture guide that I've been mentioning in all the videos. If you haven't seen the previous videos, I have the playlist linked down in the description. I highly recommend going through them all and getting you a copy of the Habit Architecture Guide so that all of this stuff that I'm mentioning makes more sense when you have the outline and the info that I've given in the previous video. So what we want to do is redesign the habit. And those videos go into a bit more depth and the guide. But it's like that quote, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's insanity. Right? So doing the same thing over and over again, not yielding any results, is insanity. And we treat our habits like that. We keep restarting them the same way we originally built them. So you want to go back to the design, go through the outline in the Habit Architecture Guide, and then use the 21 days that I mentioned earlier as an appetizer. Use the 21 days as an appetizer to go through trial and error and get data on whether You like the new changes, the environments, materials, whatever things that you've decided to redo. And just have that 21 days to go through as a trial period, as an appetizer to see, okay, is this design, is this habit, and how I have it laid out right now, will it work for my life? And then keep tweaking it until you get the results that you want. Remember, our habits are supposed to add to our lives. They are supposed to make us feel good. They are supposed to add a little bit of structure to our lifestyle, especially when things get hard. You want habits that you can fall back on when life is tough. Where you know, yeah, I'm depressed or whatever the case may be, I'm having a hard time in life. But you already have those habits set up to where, let's say, you have really good habits of keeping up yourself. So that even when you're going through these hard times, you're still keeping up with your appearance, right? Something that you can hold on to while you're still going through things. Now, habits aren't meant to fix your life. I mentioned that in the previous videos. They're not meant to fix your life, but they can add some really, really nice benefits, structure, and joy. Treating lapses as failure instead of data. Lapses aren't proof that you failed. They are proof of data. They show you where the habit is weak. Missed days and falling off, as we like to call it, those are diagnostic feedback. Ask yourself, where did friction show up? Did it show up in environments? Did it show up in materials? Did it show up in excuses? Where did it show up? What did you have a hard time with? What was the reason for you missing those days? So just remember, data beats self-judgment. It does not help you to beat yourself up, to blame yourself, to be, oh, I'm not capable, I'm not consistent. You're not helping yourself by having a bunch of negative thoughts about your habits. Look at the root cause, fix it, do some trial and error, do some experimenting, have fun with it. But don't accept defeat. And I don't think any of you guys are accepting defeat. I think that's why you're watching this video, is because you're not giving up. No, I know we are high functioning, driven, capable people. So I don't think that you're giving up, but we can start to really feel down when we keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and isn't making any headway. So that's why I'm giving you these tips, is so that you can finally start to breathe a little and see the result of all your hard work, because that's what we want. We don't want to be doing all of this for nothing, right? We want to benefit. We want to improve our lives from this. So let go of the self-judgment. Put on your investigator hat and figure out what is truly going on, and be honest with yourselves during this process, but also have self-compassion. Over-ambitious routine. If your routine only works out on your best day, then it probably wasn't designed for real life. So what this can look like is stacking too many habits at once. I know we're probably all guilty of this, especially me. Very much so guilty, where I want to do 3 habits out of nowhere, try to implement them. So I'm pretty sure we're all guilty of this. As high functioning, driven people, capable people, we're guilty of this. I know you are. where we want to go and do 4, 5, 6, 7 habits at once. And so what we can do is start to create very overly complex routines and habits, and we all see those people who have like really complicated, too many steps, morning routines, evening routines, sometimes skincare routines. If we like see those videos where they have like the 20 different steps of their skincare routine, as high functioning people, and we carry a lot of weight, a lot of pressure, what can happen is, because we've been so normalized of carrying a lot more than what we can actually handle, when we create these habits, we can sometimes add more pressure to ourselves and create too many, because we've been used to so long being under pressure all the time. You see those people where they're like, oh, I can't do anything unless I have pressure. I need like a timeline. I need this, I need that. Yeah, it's because you're only used to doing things under pressure and carrying very heavy load. As high functioning people, as very, capable, driven people, we can often overbuild and add too much complexity to something, or get so used to carrying a bunch of weight on our shoulders, of having so much stress, that what is one more thing, right? One habit doesn't feel very stressful compared to all the other things that are going on in our lives. But you got to remember that those little things start to add up, and there will be a cost to having those very overly complex habits and routines. So remember to design a habit for your average day, your average ideal day. Not too high, not too low, but ideal. And I speak about a lot of these things in the other videos, which is why this one is going to be a little bit shorter, because I've gone into a bit more depth in the other videos about too many steps in your routine and habits. I've gone over designing for your energy rhythm. So all of these things that I'm mentioning, I've gone into more depth in the other videos. So I highly recommend going down to the playlist and watching those, and also grabbing a copy of the Habit Architecture Guide. In the next video, everything will tie together into one clear framework. So be sure to check out that video as well.